was wondering, so we're facing death in some ways, like we're confronting this idea that you know, we might die depending on our, our health and everything. But so I was wondering how do you face the situation? Do you, for example, for me, I noticed that I would react with a fear of towards the, maybe I'm going to get sick or something like that. So it shows, it reflects the idea that that I'm afraid of dying, that I'm someone afraid of dying, and I just would like to know your take on this situation.
Okay. Now, first, there is no one. And everybody hears it. I think, oh, there's no one. Oh, yeah. But I'm someone with me, and you are someone with no me. So people are thinking like that. And now when I'm saying there's no one, there is really no one. So what I mean with that, it's not that here's a person with no one, with no me or something, and there's a person with a me. But there is already never, ever, everywhere, someone. There are no individuals. So when you talk about how do you take the coronavirus, it's about how can you or this person, how does it react? But there is no one person here. There is only body. It's very literally. There is a body, but it's also apparent, but okay. And there is no one inside. So it's just going. It's just maybe there are thoughts about something. Maybe there's a fever. Maybe there's fear. Maybe there's anything. But there's no structure. You think I am a person and with a me or without a me, and this is the structure of my body and I'm inside of it, or maybe there's somebody who has a body who isn't inside or something. I don't know how people think, but there is only an apparent body and there's no one inside, but it's not only here, it's everywhere. So there is no way to react on corona or something like that. It's just what at any time, and this time it's only this talking, and that's everything. There's nothing more than that. So in that sense, there is no coronavirus. In the same time, when you talk in this kind of meetings, you talk about the story also. So you can see about what's going on, and there's not going out so many times or things like that. But it has no meaning at all. You can you can relate it to, oh, there's a coronavirus and I'm not going outside and how I feel about it. But there's only moving and there's only talking, and sometimes there's watching about, oh, how many people have died yet, and then it's already something else. So there's no way to do it, or way I do it. There is no way. There is only just what happens, and that's so literally. So there's no person who does it. It's just life. You could say this body is life bodying in a certain way. That's it. It's not Rose body that does that. No, there is no one. It's just that body. So there is no person with no me. It's just body who's reacting. And there's body reacting, or there's an emotion coming. But it's just life in emotioning, how do you say it? Life in the form of emotion that's coming, and with no meaning at all. So there's no meaning. And when people talk about the coronavirus, there is always in the story a lot of meaning and importance and my life and all that kind of thing. So in the story, it seems like a very important and big thing, and it makes something, make fear. It seems like fear is coming because of that. But fear is just there. It can be fear coming, and then maybe there's thoughts about, then there's thoughts. It's just so neutral, and in fact, there's nothing going on. It's just that what's happening, and that's it. So
So when I hear that, I go, well, if one, I don't know, there's no one, but I don't know to say that, but
no,
in this body mind, there's the true seeing or true understanding, anyway, of that there's just an apparent body and there's no one and nothing is really happening. Then why would someone take any precautions? I mean,
but it's just how it happens. It's not someone who does that. That's just what happens. It's the story. It's how the body moves. There are certain patterns and how it moves that way. It's how it goes. So
I understand. Yeah. Okay.
So, and there's no meaning. It's also no cause and effect, because you think, oh, this is because of there's no me, then it wouldn't happen anymore, maybe. But I don't know. You don't know. There can be a tension in that body, and suddenly there's coming a big cough or sickness or illness. I don't know. Anything can come. And taking precautions or not going to the doctor, anything can happen. It's just how life goes. How it works, and it's not from someone. That's so embodied. It's so normal to not even think, but it's so normal to think that. So that's why it's energetic about know me, because that's so into the body, into anything, that it's still your thing in some way. Yeah.
And it seems like in situations like these ones, like this one,
yeah,
the me gets a little bit more present or up, a bit more solid, like, I don't know, more upfront.
can be.
Yeah, I notice.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, that can be, sure. But it's not the me is coming stronger. Maybe there's fear. It's not more when there's someone, it's subtle. Also, it can be subtle, but there's always a comparison. Like, oh, before it was this, and now it's this, and maybe that's because of that. It's only if there's fear happening, it's fear, and it's just a sensation. Maybe in the body, maybe you don't know where. Doesn't matter. It's just fear. That's it.
Yeah.
Can be, but it can happen. Nothing wrong, nothing because of the me or something like that. It's just fear.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you.
I will say to anybody, I have muted everybody because of the beginning. I was already.
So, Rosemarijn, you do hear me now? Maybe you will off because my battery is really very bad. Please, if I have, for example, my son, small, and I tell him, go to do your homework. Actually, it's not me who is saying this. It just happened. And it happened.
Yeah, it's just happening. It's just words coming out.
Yeah, and his reaction, it's maybe he listened me or no. So this is without cause and effect. It's not dependent that I told him do it. No. How is it?
It's when you talk, it's always talking in two things. It's talking in the story, and it's talking about with no one. And then when that's in the story, you will always see cause and effect, because you see, oh, I'm saying that, and I see he reacts like that. Oh, maybe it's because I'm too angry in my words or something like that.
And if it's no in story, how does it work? You know, you say no one says something, for example, do something, and the answer
can be no, I don't know. Maybe there's someone saying in the same way, I want you to do that or something like that, and there's a reaction. That's it. But there's no. The difference is that there's. How can you say that? There's no. It's not so serious anymore. It's because when there's a me, it seems like everything is really serious. When I don't do that, that will be going wrong or something like that. And suddenly there's a scene that's, oh, it's not about going wrong or going right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's already this. And if it's not seen, it's just like going on, and it's not wrong, because we're always busy like, oh, when there's no me, it will be better, and then maybe I will not do that to my son anymore or things like that. Bullock, that's no. The way you do is exactly how it is. When it's in a mad way, like, then it's not. That's life, how life works. And then maybe there's a fight. Then that's what's happening. It's not wrong. It gives maybe. That's it.
Yeah. And where is no you? It's no one has someone question, I should do it different way, or I should do it like another, or why I didn't have another choice. Or if no one is there, you have never these thoughts.
No, the thoughts, maybe they can come up like, should I do this? But it's
not serious.
No, it's not serious, because, and sure, you can think, and I think, oh, shall I go to the garden? Oh yeah, I'm going to the garden or something like that. But there's no meaning in it, no importance, anything at all. And if you have a son, it seems like when the mother and I have a son, it seems like when there's a me, that you have to do something to give your son a good feeling, something like that. That's the normal pattern. When there's no me, it seems that there's no one. It's not only here, but it's everywhere. So there's no one. So when there's coming advice, there's coming an advice, but it's going nowhere. It's not going anywhere. So
it's not important.
The pattern like that's going, and that's not wrong. Nothing is wrong. That's huge. Nothing is wrong. The way you do it, if you are angry or I don't know what, it's just what happens. And it's not like saying, oh, I'm beating my son. And it's just what happened. That's something else. It's not about that.
Yeah, thank you. It's funny.
I've closed the microphones of everybody, so when you want to speak, you can unmute yourself, and if you don't want to, that's all right. That doesn't matter. So
okay.
Hello.
Hi, Rosemarijn.
Hi.
There are some thoughts that I've done something not good.
Yeah.
Then I'm judging myself.
And
it's it's a very strong pattern.
And there's sadness. Maybe there's sadness. Then there's sadness. That can happen. It's just sadness coming and thoughts coming, judgment coming. That can be there. And it's not about, this is not about it doesn't come anymore or something like that. That's what you hope, that the suffering will end. That's what we all do. We want suffering to end. But when there's pain or sadness, it's just sadness. And it's maybe can be very strong and a lot of tears or a lot of pain. Then that's what's happening. And that's it. It's no wrong, no right. There's no right also. There's no meaning. So it's just that feeling can happen. And some body minds are crying more than other body minds, maybe. Just like that. It's just how it works.
Uh-huh.
Because we think also when I'm a person that cries a lot and maybe I have to stop with it because that's, oh man, it doesn't matter. It's just when that's a body mind that's that way, then it's just that way. And that's perfect. It's just crying. Mm. Mm.
But yeah, sometimes it looks like that it's better to stop the judgments.
Yeah, sure. But there's no one who can stop it. So thoughts are very, it seems like they have a content. So you think, oh, I'm thinking that and I have to stop it because that's not, it gives me pain or things like that. They're just thoughts and they have no meaning. It's just that thought and it's going. And it's also when there's a me and you have that thought, it's like grasping it and thinking, oh, I'm grasping it and I do that because, and then I think, oh, I have those thoughts, you're grasping it. I don't want to have them anymore. So you have to grasp them to let them go, something like that. It's more like how it works. And then when there's just those judgments, there can be judgment. Here can be judgments about some people, about what's happening. That can be there. It's not that when there's no me or something like that, there are no judgments anymore. So there can be judgment. So what? That's no meaning with it. It's just judgment. It can be fun or something else, something. It's not about no judgment. No, that's another way of living. That's how people think. It's better. I have no judgment anymore now. Oh my God, that's the new way. Why? Judgments are coming sometimes. So what? And then there's no cause and effect. So when there's pain or sadness, it's not because of those thoughts. There are those thoughts of judgments and there's something else. There's a bird singing and there's pain. And it's just what's happening. Just at that, it's every time it's new. So there's no cause and effect. There's no one. So who would be taking care of the judgments? It's just life in that form. So what? No wrong. It's just that body mind. Some body minds do have that kind of energy and other body minds have another energy. That's the different. Every body mind is unique. So it's a different way of doing things and thoughts or whatever. That's it. There's only difference. It's not better than this or worse. We are always thinking in better and worse. There's no better or worse. It's just neutral. It's just how it is. Certain feeling, certain state of mind, certain body reaction, anything. And it is not that, oh, when there's no me, that will stop. Everything goes on. It's just life. I don't know what will happen. Maybe a lot of pain or something else. I don't know. It's not about a better life.
No, yeah.
That's what we hope somewhere.
Yeah.
It's always somewhere that.
Yeah.
Maybe the pain will get more because then there's nothing going on about having to stop it or not feeling it. So maybe tears are coming more or pain is coming more because it's just free. I don't know, can be happen like that. Anything. So it's not a better life. It's just life. And it depends on the body-mind system and structure, what's going on. I don't know. Everybody is different, unique. We are so used to think, oh, what I am doing, I see other people and they're just more relaxed or more this. And it's so used to think about yourself, about there's something wrong, there's something not right yet, or something like that. It's so normal to think that, but it's not only thinking, it's so in everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's not wrong. There's nothing wrong. It's huge. There's nothing wrong. Wow. It's amazing. How can we think that there's something wrong? How can we think it's just what's happening? That's everything. How can we think then something is wrong or something is right? It's just nature, like nature.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I'm thinking I'm hurting other people.
Yeah, that's the you're not the only one.
Yeah.
But it's like in a tree. Then there's a tree, and the leaves are just like, yeah, how you say there's going something wrong in the tree, and then you don't think about, oh, that's wrong, and it has to be straight, or something like that about the tree. But when there's about people, this is right and this is wrong, and should, and everybody has different opinions about that. So it's chaos. How do you know what is right and what is wrong? That's an endless seeking. You never are sure, because then other people say, yeah, but you think you're right, but have you thought about this? Oh, no, and it's going on again. You don't know. You don't know what's right or wrong. You don't know how to behave, and you don't know in the body what's right for it in health or things like that. Oh my God, you don't know. But that's also a fear can come, because then there seems that there's no control. You think there's control about your life and doing the right thing, so it will be better. But there's no control, and you don't know. Well, it's in somewhere that it can be fear, but it's in the same time it's freedom, because no need to know, because it's just happening. Anything can happen. It's also the freedom of anything. It's chaos. You don't know. Wow, tears or judgments.
Yeah.
So what? It's really well, but the me structure or things like that, it's so strong about behaving right, and you somewhere maybe it is heard, but that me energy is so strong.
Yeah.
It can be heard somewhere, and there's a me structure, you can say, in the story, and somewhere when there's talking about this, there's this is making holes, or like things like it's threatening or things like that. So it's not that solid. It's not that solid anymore. That can be, maybe it's getting more solid. It can be at the same time, but a lot of times it can be like making holes, and it's not that solid anymore, not that serious anymore. So it can be happen like this, and you don't know how or what, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes this kind of settings, like talking about this, that can happen in those meetings.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It feels like the heart is coming more open. Yeah. We shall see. Thank you.
Yeah, what I wanted to say is also that I'm recording the session, but I will not do and every time putting it on the YouTube because then there's so many films already. So if you want to have the link, maybe you can, on my website, you can find the contact form and you can fill in that you want to receive the link so you can watch if you want to. I will send you the link. And maybe somewhere later when the coronavirus is not there anymore, I'm having some groups and not so many people, so I'm not filming it. So in that time, maybe there can be that I do it on the YouTube, but I don't want to do it so many times in a week. Maybe I can talk a little bit about what I wanted to do in the beginning. That's coming back. It's about having a me or not having a me. It's so often that happens that when there are questions or things about how do you do that or things like that, that it's so normal to think that you're someone and that I'm someone and that there's a difference about us, like that you have a me and that here there's no me anymore, something like that. But it's different. It's something. It's not like that. It's even more strange in that sense, because there's no one. That means that there's no one. There's no individual, no person existing here, and there's no personal life, and that's not only here, but it's nowhere. So there's also no person, no someone that's going on. And when you think, oh, but I have a me, it's only a thought that's coming up, that there's a me. But when there's something happening, it's just that's what's happening. So that's why I say also already, it's already this. So it's not waiting till there's no me. That's, you wait forever because there is already no me, and waiting for no me is also in some thoughts like waiting for a subtle better life. So maybe when there's no me, the suffering will stop, or maybe when there's no me, some patterns will fall away and that will be much more easy or much more relaxed or subtle. There is always something beneath everything that you long for. When there's no me, the only thing, it's so obvious then that it's already there. So it's already no me. It's not that a me is falling away. It's when you talk in the story, it seems like, oh, first there was no me, and then on certain moment the me was not coming back, or there is a falling away. But in the same time, it's when you talk out of the story, I can't say it anything else, it's out of the story, it's so obvious that the only thing there is that's what is happening, and that's already there. So yeah, it's the end. This is the end. That's the breathing, it's the looking, it's the sitting in a certain way. That's it. That's everything. Maybe there's thinking, there's thoughts, but thoughts are not wrong. And maybe there are judgments, what you asked, then there are judgments, or there are emotions, or you suppress your emotion. It's not about feeling your emotions. When there is an emotion and it's going back, it's not coming up, or there are no tears, then it's just, in that sense, there's maybe then a tension in the body. That's it. It's so simple and so tiny. It's not about better or worse. It's not about going to some relaxed state, or there is no state. No me is not a state. It's just everything. It's just so obvious. Then suddenly it's obvious that it's everything. It's just, and it was already there, of course. Wow, the looking just obscures it. And it doesn't matter even that there's a looking, because then it's not obscuring, is also in the story. So if there's looking, and it's not even the looking, is already a story. So looking is maybe thinking something. So then there's thinking something. Thinking doesn't have a meaning. And if you think, oh, but it has a meaning, then there's thinking, oh, it has a meaning and it's important. Then it's about that. So it's already that. It's already what's going on. So it won't be different in that sense. It won't be a different life or a better life or more relaxed or things like that. That's the dream. The dream is always about going to be better and trying to do it the best way you can. It's just, there's no one doing it. It's just life, and that's the structure of that body mind that's going in a certain way. And it's in every body mind is different. So there's no wrong, there's no right, there's no better. I'm not better than somebody else or worse or something like that's how can we think that it's that I'm better than some other place, or you're better than somebody else? How can we say? It's just what's happening. That's it. It's the most simple, obvious thing, and that's the freedom, that it's everything. It's already everything. So you don't have to change. Wow, we're always busy trying to change something about yourself, about someone else, that it would be better that if you behave like that, or it would be better that you eat like this, or we're always trying to behave, to change. There's no need for change, because this is already everything. It's just the way you look, the way you move, anything. It doesn't matter. There's no wrong or right. It's everything. Wow, it's the end. This is the end. Anita, can you close your thing?
Oh, yeah, I want to ask something.
Oh, I want to ask.
Yes, you were talking about a state. It doesn't matter which state you are, but it feels like when you're more in a natural state, it's more, hoe zeg je dat? Ruimer. There is more relaxation.
Yeah, that's the dream. That it's about more relaxed and natural. There is no natural. It's also a dream of behaving like natural people or something like that. Or maybe it's always the same thing. It's always something else, what you don't do or don't have, or what maybe you can reach when you do this or that. It's always about behaving.
So
And then we call it natural, or that sounds very good, but everything is natural. Like the way you tension is also natural. There's no more natural. That's
No,
It's
some
free.
teachers leading you to a natural state, but that's
There is no natural state. There's just what's happening, like
what
tears or tension. Tension is always. Well, why no tension? When there's a tension in the body, so what? There's tension, and then maybe there's releasing it or not. But we are so busy like that it has to be in a way perfect, in a sense, like everything has to be relaxed or always happy, looking for a state, for something like it, that it always will be relaxed or always joy or well, I don't know what, always free. It's already free. The freedom is that it's everything. So it's not certain this is good and this is not good, because then when it's natural, then some things are good and some things are not good. It's the same old story. It's always the same story about not good and behaving better, and what you do now that's not good for your body, or it's endless. It's endless, and it's always about there's something not yet right, and when you do it like this, it will be better.
Yeah.
My God, and can't hear, and that's the me is that strong, and that's the structure of the me. The me is the feeling like I'm not good enough. So that's the whole me and the structure about trying to find something what is good. So that's part of the me. So it's everything is around that, and you can't hear. This is it. This is already all right. This is already paradise. That's people say, yeah, but, or this is the way you do. It's already it. Yeah, but when I have tension, then there's tension. It can be anything. It's everything. There's no how do you say? There's no exception, of course. It's everything. But the me, in some place, you can't. There's nothing. No need to change. The me can't hear this. It's somewhere you can hear it, and somewhere it's like it's incredible. It's so wow, amazing. Like nothing needs to change. That's what we all long for. That everything is all right. It's just like it is, like the way you look. My God, what we all do, like behaving and like having a better face or trying to do my hair or oh my God, it's amazing what we do. Like my nose is not right, or oh my God, it's amazing. And it's just that nose or that, why is it wrong or right? It's just the way I look. And we're so obsessed of the me structure or things like that. It's so obsessed and can't hear like this is all right, this is already this. This is how it is. This is wow. Nothing needs to change. It's obvious. Of course not. You can't. It's not even if you want to do it. We're trying so much and then it doesn't work. And we did so much work and we tried so much and it doesn't work. Oh, I have to try maybe something else or maybe work harder or oh my God, I did the same. Of course. I know already. I know that. I did all that. I thought maybe when I have no me, then I'm more relaxed because this body is had a lot of tension in it. I did the same thing, of course. But it's so obvious. It has nothing to do with you. Of course not. It's just that body that there's tension. And it's not, if there's tension, it's the whole day tension. Because when there's somebody, you think, oh, when I have something, it's my identity. I am a very stressed person. There is no very stressed person. Then there can be stress, or there can be going to the shop, or they can be drinking something. It's every time it's something else or something new. So there's no structure. When there's thinking about an identity, you think, oh, I am like that and this, and I have this. like you have that all the time like this, and then you have to change like all the time like that. But it's endless because it's not all the time like that. It's changing, it's chaos, then there's tension, then there's laughter. Oh, it's not tension. And then there's, who are you? There's no who are you. It's just tension or laughter or eating cake. I don't know. Watching television. Oh, that's also a thing. I thought not watching television is better than watching television. Oh my God, there's so many issues. It doesn't matter when that's happening, that's happening. So what? It's going nowhere. Mm. I don't know if I was answering your question. No? Yeah?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, thank you.
It came like this. If you don't want to speak, you can also write some questions down in the chat if you want to. What you want. A question. Would you still be interested in reading a book about psychology, about how the mind works? I don't know. It's just, an answer is just by Rose, so that's not the truth. It's just, sometimes there's reading a book about psychology, but a lot of times I'm very, very quickly bored. It's always about how can you do things, how can you change something. And sometimes it's nice some people can write about how the mind works. And I like to read books about that people who worked with brain and how the brain works and how that mind thinks, just facts about that. Sometimes I like to read some, but I'm not so much a reader. Sometimes I'm reading just detectives also. It doesn't matter. It's just, I like that. Oh, what? Oh, sorry. Do no one question, I want this or want that, or I must shop, or if I question, I want this or I want that, or must I shop or I must study? Oh, God. There can be resistance. There can be, I don't know. There I have some training about, I have feet that need some training, I thought. So I thought maybe I can do that every day. I'm not so much into doing exercises every day because normally I forget. But in this period, I see myself doing it every day. And then yesterday, for example, it's just a story, but yesterday I thought, oh my God, I don't have energy, and but it's not, it's very clear that it's not the thoughts are provoking what I'm doing. It's the thoughts are there, and then it's, I don't know, maybe then there's a lot of resistant thoughts, and then suddenly it's going. It's just doing the exercise or not doing the exercise. It has nothing to do with the thoughts. That's very obvious. And we always think that thoughts are the driver. Are when we think, oh, I have to do it, and I have to think like, and all those thoughts that if that are the how can you say it in English? The drivers to do it. When there can be thoughts about I have to do it, and then nothing's going on, and then there are no thoughts, and you don't do it. So it's all can be both ways around. It's what's going on. It has nothing to do with the thoughts, and that's amazing because it seems so obvious that when you think I have to do it, and I have to, how can I do something so that I do it more, or I don't forget it, or things like that. You can do it, that can happen all the time, but that's the dream. And what's happening is just going or not going. It's two worlds. They don't meet. They don't meet. That's amazing. We're so convinced that the way the thinking provokes what you're doing. Oh my God, that's the most addictive dream. And there's just thinking and thinking, I have to do it, and underneath there's just going or not going or studying or training, and when it's happening, and I don't know, that's there's no one who's doing it. That's so obvious. So there can be in the mind, there can be questions, or there can not questions, but there can be like, oh, no, it's not. It's maybe it's getting less because it's not. It can be there, but it's also very quickly it's gone because it has no. How do you say? No power. It's so obvious that they don't have power. It can be thinking anything, and it goes and it comes. Any thought can come. Also, I have to do this, or that is dirty, I have to clean it. And then after a while I think, oh, I was totally forgotten, and I can be like that. It's just also the character, one character is really much more into some things, and other are not. I don't know. Nothing is better than something else. We are so trained to think like, oh, when you start a study, you have to do your best to go on, and it's just going or not. I don't know. It's not about thinking you have to do it. That's a dream. That's just a dream. Thoughts have no power. They have no power. It's amazing. Oh. And of course, I think I want this. Sure. Well, yeah. and then I don't know, sometimes it goes like that and sometimes it's not. It's the same. It's no difference. Can be the same. You can think anything. There's no difference. There's no difference. It's just thinking I want this, or I don't have to, maybe it's better not to do that. Something like that. Also you can think that. I can think that. And then it's gone. Okay. There's no importance of whatever. There's no importance. Nothing is really serious. It's amazing. But it's energetic. It's not about thinking, oh, nothing is important anymore. Something like that. That's a new way. That makes it everything maybe more relaxed or more easy. That's you can't pick it up and thinking, oh, I'm doing now that. I'm doing nothing is important anymore, or nothing has meaning, or something like that. It's has nothing to do with this. It's just how it happens. It just has no meaning. Like I don't think about it that I think, oh, I don't do it because it has no meaning or something like that. That's something else. It's not about that. It just has no meaning. So that's it. Nothing going on about it. Nothing trying to name it or trying to tell it to other people or things like that. No. It's just a small world. There is no world. It's just what's happening. This is everything. That room, that's everything. It's always been like everything. We think, oh, we are enclosed in our houses. This is everything. There's no outside. There's no inside. It's just this, everything. There's no world outside going on. It's just only in the mind, in the thinking. The brain can make images of the world and things like that. And it seems very real. But it's just a dream. This is everything. The walking, the sitting, the moving your hands. That's it. It's so little and tiny and small. It's already this.
Yeah, maybe I have followed too much Buddhism lessons.
Sorry?
They are always a lot of talking about interrelated nature. We're all interrelated, and
Interrelated. We are interrelated nature.
Yeah. So everything is connected, and someone is angry, then it has influence on other people, on a lot of other people, on the whole world, or something like that. Yes.
Yeah. It's another way to say you have to behave well. And you don't have to be angry like the church. Don't have to be angry. Be nice. Oh my God. Be nice. That's the old. It's the same story in just some other words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nothing is connected. There is no connection. There is no relation. It's even more freeing. There's no relation. It's just what's happening. So there's no other person. There's no you and there's no me. There is no relation. So there's also no relation with what's going on here and nature or something like that. We're so used to connect everything and relate because we're so convinced that there's someone. And that when there's someone, then the whole structure is going on. Then there's someone and you have to relate and you have to do it right. And everything has meaning and everything has cause and effect. That's the whole dream. That's the whole story. When there's a story, then the whole thing is going on. And when you know and when you have been in this kind of settings, and a lot of things that's not about right or wrong, that a lot of people know already. It's not about right or wrong. Everything is okay or something like that. So there are coming new names or new naming of things. It's about connection or something like that. It's the same story. It's still, there's something not yet right. That's the dream. And there's always about you are there and they are there. Someone else is there, or the nature is something. It's always, and that's also the pain of when there's someone. Everything seems to be something. There's some other person. There's the nature, and even like looking for freedom has has a feeling of that's a structure. That's a state of always feeling moving, or feeling you can move everything, or it's always looking for something solid. And it's not solid or something, it's already everything. So the way it moves is it. But it's so tiny, the way the sitting is it. It's the sense, that's it. So nothing to look for, it's already there. But when there's a me, you're looking, the me is always looking for a state or something that I don't feel a change or something like that. There is no change. In that sense, there is no change. It's just what's happening, and change happens. So it can be, now it can be like this, and then it's that. It just happens. It's already sitting like this. That's it. Connection. There's no connection. We are so good in abstracting things. So that's the brain. The brain, that's the human brain, can abstract everything. So it's just like a little child. It's how little childs are moving around, and we think, oh, they don't yet have responsibility, or they don't yet can understand that, or things like that. No, because there's no awareness, like, oh, looking down and abstracting things. So that's more the way like it is. It's just moving, and yeah, no awareness, no responsibility. Yeah. It's already, but you can think there's responsibility, but it doesn't matter. But there's, of course, there's no responsibility, because there's no one. There's already no one. It's not only here, no one. It's everywhere, of course. There's nowhere there's someone. That's the brain of the people, and the brain can make a me and think about, I am doing it, and I am here. And, that's it. Hier nog another question. Does I influence a behavior? Does I influence the behavior of people? No, of course not. There's no influence. There is no influence, because there is already no me. So that's sometimes it's a bit confusing that there's talking in the story and there's talking outside of the story, because when there's not talking in the story, it's difficult to explain. But talking in the story is always confusing, because it seems like there's a path, there's a, how do you say, there's an development, there is influence. In the story, it seems always like that. So that's how you hear the words that are spoken. But in another, there is no me, so there's also no influence of behavior. When there's a reaction, there's a reaction coming, and then you see another body mind, and there's also a reaction. That's it. And there can be sadness, there can be talking. That's it. It's not, you did this, and how can I, that's the way people do, like in relationships. There is no relationship. There is already no other person. That's the freedom. That's just, this is happening. There can be anger coming, and then another person can say, oh, I don't like that way you're saying. And then there can be a reaction, or not, I don't know. But there's no one. So it's no one to blame. No one to feel guilt. It's just what's happening. And it can be pain, or like screaming, or being angry. And it seems like it influences other people, because you see, like, oh, when I'm angry, that other person goes like, oh my God. But we are so used to see that as like, oh, I did that. And then, oh, it's better. And the others say, oh, I have pain because you said it like that. And then I said, oh, and now you don't want to say sorry. And then, oh, and I have a lot of that. That's the way things usually go. And this is about no one. There's not only here no one, it's already everywhere. There's no one. So there's just what's happening. There can be anger and saying, I don't like that, what you did. And then people react or not, I don't know. But it's not about influence. There is no influence. It seems like that in a dream. And what also is when there's no me, what the difference in reactions and reactions, you could say reaction is already a bit in the story. It's just what's happening. That's maybe the better word, because reaction is already like there's action and there's reaction. So talking in the story, it seems like there is cause and effect. In the story, there's always like cause and effect. But the only thing there is just saying something or something, words coming out, and then and there are words coming out or screaming, and there can be it's so used to see it in time, because then you think, oh, I'm saying it, and the next moment he is reacting on that what I'm saying. So you see it in time. But when there's no me and it's a scene, this is also, there's no time. So this is happening, and then after a moment that is happening. When this is happening, and then that's all there is, and then that person is reacting. That's everything. So how can you say that? What seems to be before, it never happened. It's not about understanding. When there's no time, every time is new. So there is, I'm saying this, and then I'm sitting in the story. But when I'm sitting like this, there was no saying something. This is everything. There's no saying something. There's no past. There's no past. So there's only this. This is it. This is everything. So there is no past. There is also no past a second ago, something like that. It's just only this. That's everything. And then the rest is, and even I think there's a lot of people know it, because then when you think about an hour ago, sometimes you don't even remember what happened an hour ago. And if you remember, you think, oh, it feels a bit like, did it really happen, or was it yesterday? I don't remember if it was an hour ago or it was yesterday or something like that. Because in that sense, I think you know it. A lot of people know that there's something strange about time. You don't know, maybe you don't know the day of the week, or you don't know when it happened, if it's 2 days ago, or did I say that, or I don't remember, or was it like that? And so time is already, for a lot of people, I think that's already known. That's not something solid. So in that sense, everything is new. Some people can see that it's only like this, and there's no before and no after. So of course, then there's no reaction or influence, because it's only this. It's only this. And it's only this. That's it. And what somebody says before, it's only in the mind. You have a remembering of what happened before, but it's only in remembering. Maybe it's different as what happened before. And there is no happening before, because there's no time. Some people can think like, oh my God, now I'm out. I can't follow it anymore. Okay, it's not about understanding. Somewhere you can hear it, and the mind can go blow away like, oh my God, I can't understand. That doesn't matter. It's not about understanding. It's about something else. You don't need to understand this. Wow, that's also amazing. Understanding is just something in the story you can do. Like it seems like important. It's, yeah, it's just understanding. Oh, a lot of questions. What? So when you have children, there's no felt past and what you did with them. No, there isn't. God, that's the freedom. That's the freedom. It's not even, there are no children, there are no parents. That's also, because when there's a parent and there's a child, then it seems like there's a relationship. And when there's a parent and child relationship, you think, oh, I have to take care of the children. And there are a lot of behavior things like what you learned in the past, or I don't know. And then it's coming out like, oh, I have to take care of him. And I didn't do it right because he was feeling so sad. Oh, I didn't do it right and all that, blah, 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 blah. It's not about relation. There is no you. So in the child, so if you see a childish body, it's just a body mind that's there, and there's no one in it. So it's not about taking care. And when there's taking care, then it's taking care. But that's the freedom. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter. It's just, and it's not about saying to yourself, oh, it doesn't matter, because that's something else. The freedom is that everything is it. So the way this body mind reacts, or body minds give say something to a child or something like that. That's perfect. So there are no children and there are no parents. They're just what is. And when they're, so also you think your child, when you don't see your child, you think it's still there because it's in its room. That's also the exact mind. When I say there are no children, there are literally no children. There's only this. There's only this, and that's everything. It's not somewhere else. I know it's there. Yeah, okay, you can abstract that, and then you come into the story again. And it's only this. So no taking care, no children, no parent. It's just this, the body, mind, and that's it. And taking care, I know, taking care and need and taking care, sure, in relationships, but also in relationship with parents and children. A lot of it's about need and taking care. When there's no one, then the taking care can happen or not, I don't know. And there's no responsibility, of course not, because there is no one. So it's going like it happens, so yeah. That's the freedom, that it's not about, oh, did I do it right or did I do it wrong? It's just what happens, that's it. There's no wrong. There is no wrong. There's also no right. That's the other kind. But there's no wrong. That's huge. Also in with children, like it's always about, oh, did I do it right? My God, that's not only with children, because everyone is in the same story, but in a different way. It's always about do I do it right? That's so strong, and that's so misunderstanding. There is no wrong and no right, because there is no one. It's just happening. It's just the body reacting. It's just energy. It's not by you. It's just energy. There is no one. There's also no one in the other body mind. It's just just there, and then there's pain. It's just then there's pain. Pain is not wrong. That's also a story about pain is wrong, and when it's happy, it's good. Come on. It's just happiness. So what? And there's also no past, of course. When you have children, or you think, oh, it's about my mother did because she behaved like a certain way, and I think because of that I'm like this, and then with my children. It's so abstract thinking. It's so normal to relate to things and to, you think that's the past. I don't know, even it's remembering how it was. It's only a remembering. So it's a remembering. I don't know if it was like that, but when you remember it, you think, oh, that's the truth. I don't know, maybe it's not the truth at all. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. It's just a remembering. And then that remembering thinks, oh yeah, that feels like so pain. I was so this and I was so that. It's just a remembering. And then maybe by that remembering, there's also can be feelings but this is not about feeling right, feeling good or feeling not good. It can be anything. It can be, sometimes there's a thought and there's pain. It can be like that. I don't know, there's no relation, but it can happen like that. Then there's pain and crying and that's it. And then it's something else. So of course there's no past. There's no time. There is no time. It's only in the dream of me, in the dream, in time is, when there's a me, there's time. But when there's no time, there's no past. No future, maybe most people can then understand, but no past. My God, I have pictures of the past. If you are into that, then you are into that. Okay, doesn't matter. I don't have to convince people like there's no time. I don't care. Must be wonderful to not feel guilt or remorse anymore. The strange thing is, when there's no guilt or no remorse, yeah, then it's not there. So it's not wonderful, it's just not there. So it's nothing going on. That's you forget that it was there, maybe, or so it's no special thing. It's not special, not wonderful, or it's just nothing going on. But it's not a certain feeling or something like that. It's just, yeah, it's just not there. But that's not in the mind. You think, oh, I have no guilt. No, that's not there. So then nothing going on, just sitting or like this, or feeling pain in the shoulder or something, or breathing, or just like that. when there's something not happening anymore. Maybe everybody knows that, I think. When there's something not happening, you forget how it was, because it's not there anymore. It's just normal. And then somebody else talks to you about that, what you did, what you had a lot of times in your mind. And then I think, oh no, oh no, I don't have that anymore. Oh, forgot that I don't have that anymore. So I think a lot of people know that. It's like that. It's just not there. It's just normal. Very normal. I was in the beginning, I was thinking, I wanted to have to sit like that you can't see those that thing behind me. I will take count that I won't see that. So I did a lot of things to not see that, and I see maybe all the time it's like that. Oh, that's how it goes. It's a lot of joy. It's a lot of joy in that sense that I can remember that a lot of times it was like, oh, I am doing something not right, and then you want to prevent it, and then when somebody says something about it, you're like, oh God, I did something wrong, and I don't want to show it. Or everybody has a different, or you get angry, or I think, oh, everybody will see what I was doing. Oh my God, or all this, what was going on. I had it a lot. And then all the time it's because there's so deep down, there's such a huge conviction or some belief that there's something not right. There's something, and you have to make it right. There's something wrong, and there's maybe you think this is wrong or this is wrong, and then you don't want to see other people see it, or you want to prevent that it will hurt you or things like that. So it's a misunderstanding that there's something wrong. That's huge. There's nothing wrong. Oh, I'm looking to myself. I have to look there. There's nothing wrong. There's just nothing wrong. Not the way you're thinking. When they're thinking, oh, I have to prevent that somebody sees like how I behave, then there's those thoughts. So what? They are in that energy. That's the energy of that body mind that's going on. That's just life. That's not wrong. When there's remorse or when there's guilt, when there's then that's a feeling that's going on. So what? It's not wrong. There's no right or wrong. It's not preventing pain or things like that. But then it's so obvious there's nothing wrong. How could you believe there's something wrong? Of course not. It's just what's happening. It's just no right, no wrong. It's just the way it goes, the way it happens. That's it. Oh, and another one. If there's no more you can say, for example, to someone, you're no good, you did this bad, your decision is there. Wait, one moment. If there is no more, you can say, for example, to someone, you're no good, or you did this bad. Okay, let's say this. The strange thing is when there's no one, it's not coming up like this is good or this is not good. It's not there. It's just when there's talking, you can talk about, I don't like that person, or like judgments or things like that. You can, that's talking about, it's just nothing going on. But when there's a reaction, it's not about, oh, that's not good or not. It's just that reaction, and then there can be a reaction too, but it's not about good or wrong. It's not coming up anymore. It's just so simple, because then there's just a reaction. It's no one reacting. I say reacting, but talking, like say talking, of acting in a certain way. Just seeing someone acting in a certain way, and then there comes a reaction. Yeah, it's not seen that there's someone. So the good and bad is also not there. It's just not there. It's so part of the dream of the myth that there's always good and bad. There's always good and bad. Because there's something wrong, so there has to be right and wrong. There is no good and bad. So when there's no me, I think it's also it's so embodied, like good and bad, because it's related to a good feeling and a bad feeling. So when but in my remembering, when there was no me, then there was a period when there still was the good and bad and things like that. And then just in that sense, you can say there's a development in the dream. You can say there's a development. That's the good and bad are just, yeah, slightly diminishing. How to say? Get less and less and less. So now it's not there anymore. It's not. It's just so obvious now that it's, and maybe that in time you can see it in the story, you can see it like it's in time, but in the same time, of course, it's not time, because it's only, this is everything. But sometimes it's nice to explain something in the story, and then it's so obvious that, of course, there's no good and bad, but it's embodied. So you can't say in your mind only, like a concept, there's no good and bad. It's embodied. So it's already felt like, oh God, how awful this is. And it can be awful, but that's it. It's not about good and bad, or people do wrong things. It's not wrong. It's just the way, I don't know, eating chips or whatever. I don't know. It's just like that. There's no thoughts about going on. There's no awareness. So there's no thoughts coming about, oh, this is what I find about this, or this is what, not in that sense. So the awareness is not there anymore. That's part of the me. So looking to yourself and judging and things like that. Just not there. Yeah. It's very easy. It's very normal. Like seeing, so really seeing someone like, oh, reacting like that, and then that's it. And there's nothing coming about, oh, you should not do that, and how can I do that? No, it's not there. It's just not there. It's free. It's very free. It's just exactly how it is. So everything is exactly how it is. That's it. And there can be a reaction like, oh my God, this is awful, or something like that. Of course. That's it, but that's it. And it's also like, oh, I love this, or, oh my God, playing a game can be like, oh no, I hate that, oh, wow. This is a fiery character, like, oh, I don't want you to do that, oh. And then after the game, I don't even know who won. So it's just like this, and then it's nothing. It's just like this. can be, the character can be more blossoming like that, because there's no judgments about, oh, you don't have to do this, and all that structure is just moving, just like melting down or something like that. So the character comes more. A lot of, always when there's a me, there are a lot of judgment about behavior or how you look or how you behave. I had to be quiet, or had to be a fiery person, and I had to be quiet. Oh my God, I did a lot of things about that. It didn't work.
So Rose, it's the same, for example, like, do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, so it's typical, for example, when my mother tell me, oh, you can't do it, you know, you are so noisy and you must be quiet, and you reacted wrong, you know, you should do this. And when, for example, my son died, I was crying, so she stopped to speak with me because my behavior was different than she wanted. So she stopped to visit me because she told me that I am not accepting the situation, and that my behavior is wrong, you know, and it's all the time the same. And now it's another that she's alone and that I don't want to see her more or something like that. So it's typical of I. It's typical of I, a dream that she thinks that she can choose her behaviors and she can decide everything by herself, not that just everything's happened.
Yeah, but when there's a me, everything is about you. You are the center of the world. That's a me is the center of the world. So when there's a me, you want everything around you behaving in some way. You want everything around you behaving like that, so you can feel good. That's in a simple way. So you try to say or to do, and there are a lot of how do you say, patterns or behavior that's old behavior, that things like that. But it's always about you. When there's a me, it's everything is about you wanting to feel better. It's what's going on there. It's amazing that when there's no me, that's just wow. What I thought I was so important. I was always talking about me, like, oh, I'm not feeling good now, what can I do? And I was not feeling, or you are not, like also with children, of course, that, oh, no. But it was always about me wanting to feel good. Oh my God. And it's not about me. Of course not. It's just life. It's like nature. It's not about one thing. It's just everything, of course. We're so upset with me. Oh, of we. It's that system. It's not we, but it's that system. It's always like, oh, I have to. Oh, I wait one moment. I have to pack mine. I want to. The battery is low. Wait. So it's always about you, of me, or it's always about me. And we can see it a lot of times with other people, but for yourself, it's more difficult. But it doesn't matter if it's like that. It's just how it goes. It's just to me. It's just meing. So what?
Yeah.
It's the same when there's a lot of me going on in like oh, it's the same as drinking coffee. It's no difference. It's no difference at all. So it doesn't matter. That's amazing. Like, oh, it doesn't matter how that you're obsessed by you all and or then that's what's going on. And then it's the same as taking an ice cream or watching television. It isn't. So what is that energy? So what? Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
So it's time. There's no time, but it is time. And it's for a last word. It's just so obvious that you can say it's just the freedom is also that there's no time, and you can say, oh, this is the end because it's 1731. So that doesn't matter. It's not about, oh, there's no time, so I can't say this is the end of the meeting because there's no time. Oh my God, you can say everything. It's the way what you say is it. The way you look is it. The way when it's stopping this is stopping this. It's so, when there's scratching here, that's it already. That's it. It's so tiny. It's so even closer than close. It's not anything else than just what's happening. So it's already what's happening. The moving, the sitting, the talking, the crying, the anything. It's just it. That's it. It's the end. It's the end already. This is paradise. This is paradise, really. Thank you for watching. Nice.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rosemarijn.
Oh, hello. Thank you.
I missed an hour because I'm in the UK and I didn't think of that we start an hour earlier.
Oh God, yeah, that's difficult. Yeah, maybe next time you're in the good time. I do it every Sunday, so you can next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, thank
you very much.
Elaine.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you very much, Rose.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Bye, bye.
Fijne zondag, dankjewel.
Yeah.
Doeg.
Oh, more videos on YouTube. Bye. Thank you. Flora, thank you. Take a lot of vitamin a day. Oh my God. I don't have that. I'm sitting in the sun. Maybe that's also good. Thank you.